Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm bringing you a brand new story. If you like the story, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more amazing content.
Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, was arrogant and oppressed his people. Allah sent Moses, Musa, peace be upon him, to guide him, but he refused. When Pharaoh chased Moses and his followers, Allah parted the sea for them and then drowned Pharaoh and his army. This teaches us that arrogance leads to destruction, while faith leads to success.
Even if I entered such a huge mansion as a servant, I would still feel like an emperor. You have all the qualities of a perfect house servant. Can you dance? Great! That's exactly the kind of servant we need in our house. So, does that mean I've been selected? Sir and Madam usually do these things in private. If I've said anything inappropriate, please forgive me. It seems your sense of judgment is quite poor. You've really ruined my mood. Madam, don't you think Sir is a little unromantic? Mind your own business. Today is our first wedding anniversary. Come on, let's have a dance together. I'm single, and honestly, watching all this romance in front of me isn't making me feel good. Sir, these soft, boring songs don't create the right vibe. Put on something more lively. My friend, if you don't stop this silly song and dance with me, I won't spend another day with you. What, are you going to tear up the marriage documents? Who are you threatening? Go ahead, tear them up. Oh, really? Then here you go. Everything between us is over. Secretary, please put this into proper English for me.
The mask beneath the armor. In a cold medieval kingdom lived a young knight named Sir Eldrick. Since childhood, he had dreamed of becoming a great warrior. Shining armor, a sharp sword, and the honor of protecting the king filled his imagination. At last, he became a knight. But he soon discovered that life inside the armor was nothing like the stories. There was war every day. There was death every day. Friends would ride out in the morning with smiles on their faces and return as lifeless bodies by sunset, or never return at all. On freezing nights, he stood guard for hours in heavy iron armor.
One day in battle, Eldrick lost his closest friend. With his final breath, his friend whispered, "Are we truly heroes, or are we simply men sent to die?" The question haunted him. Slowly, he began to change. He could no longer sleep. "Do knights never feel afraid?" He would smile gently and reply, "Even the bravest knight feels fear. The only difference is that he cries beneath his armor, where no one can see." That is why many medieval knights seemed to go mad, not because they were weak, but because endless war, death, sleepless nights, and unbearable memories slowly broke the human mind. In a cold medieval kingdom, surrounded by dark forests and towering mountains, lived a young boy named Eldrick. Ever since he could walk, he had dreamed of becoming a knight. He would carve wooden swords, wear blankets like capes, and pretend to defend castles from imaginary enemies. His father, an old blacksmith, would smile and say, "A knight's armor is made of iron, but his true strength comes from his heart." When Eldrick turned 18, he finally earned the title of knight. The day he received his shining armor, he felt like the luckiest man in the world. The people cheered, children admired him, and his parents looked on with pride. Among all the knights, his closest friend was Sir Rowan. They had trained together, laughed together, and promised that one day they would return home and live peaceful lives. One autumn morning, their army was ambushed. The sky was gray, arrows rained from above, and the battlefield became a storm of steel and screams. Eldrick fought desperately, but when he turned around, he saw Rowan lying on the ground, a spear through his chest. Eldrick rushed to him. Rowan looked at him with fading eyes.
One winter evening, Eldrick sat alone beside the castle walls. Snow drifted softly from the dark sky. In the distance, he could hear laughter coming from the great hall, but it sounded as though it belonged to another world. An old monk approached him and sat beside him without saying a word. After a long silence, the monk asked, "Who are you mourning tonight?" Eldrick replied, "A friend, a brother, a man who deserved to live." The monk nodded. "And why do you carry his death as if it were your own crime?" Eldrick stared into the darkness. He had no answer. The monk continued, "War leaves scars that no armor can."
Eldrick lowered his head. Snow gathered upon his shoulders, yet he did not brush it away. After a while, he whispered, "If my heart still lives, then why does it feel so empty?" The old monk looked toward the distant mountains, their peaks hidden behind curtains of snow. "Because grief is the price we pay for love," he said gently. "The deeper the love, the deeper the wound." Eldrick closed his eyes. In his mind, he saw his friend's face once more, the smile before the battle, the hand upon his shoulder, and the promise that they would return home together. "I was the one who survived," Eldrick said. "I should have saved him." The monk was silent for a moment. "Tell me," he finally asked, "would your friend wish to see you chained forever to his grave?" "No," Eldrick admitted. "Then honor him differently. Carry his memory, not his death." A cold wind swept through the courtyard. From the great hall came another burst of laughter. This time, it sounded less distant.
The monk rose to his feet. "One day," he said, "you will speak his name and smile before you weep. That is not forgetting. That is healing." Eldrick looked up. "And if that day never comes?" The monk smiled. "It will. Winter never asks permission before it arrives, and spring never forgets to follow." With those words, the old monk walked away into the falling snow. Eldrick remained beside the castle wall for a long time. Then, for the first time in many months, he stood, drew a deep breath, and turned toward the lights of the great hall.